Hello to my Geminis. All right, Geminis, let's get right into it. This reading is for the 7th through the 14th of February. Yes, okay. So we're going to have a full moon in Leo. We have a full moon in Leo. So we have the first quarter moon in Taurus on the 5th, right? So that's where you kind of sort of sprung into action. The overarching thing for this cycle, really, for this full moon in Leo, is really going where you are appreciated and not where you are tolerated. So a lot of things were uncovered in that last full moon that we had that was in Cancer, Geminis, about you, right? A lot of you all discovered your moon sign. You discovered a lot of things about yourself. Now, when you start believing in yourselves and start believing in your purpose and those kind of things, you started investing more into yourselves. You all love to learn. You're excellent communicators. And a lot of you all use that time to create good products and services that reflect where you're going, not where you've been. And Source is going to use all of that to help you. So let's get into it. Let's set the tone for your reading, Geminis. Today is a great day. That's right, speak it into existence. Today is a great day. Today is a great day. Okay, so yes, today is a great day. Speak it into existence. Make sure your vibrations are leading you in that direction, that it is a great day. Let's get into it. Let's see what your angel number is. I've already prayed over your cards, already cleared the space. Already did a return to sender of any negative energy that is trying to come your way, the collective's way. All right, let's do it. Let's get into your reading, Geminis. All right, let's see. All right. 291, set priorities. So say no to distractions moving forward. Make sure you all, because in this case somebody wants to take a screenshot of that. If you happen to see this number, it could be, because numbers, you also get signs through numbers as well. But immediate action is required. Your angels calls you to prioritize what you want. So there are many distractions around you presently, and the challenge is to keep your mind set on your true desire. So eliminate the distractions today by postponing or declining anything that is not essential. Okay? 291. You could see that on a receipt. You can see it on the back of a license plate. Those are signs, right? So make sure you are not distracted. You're focusing on where you are going, okay? A lot of things were uncovered in that last full moon for everybody. And so make sure you are one of the ones that chose to see what you needed to see so you can continue moving forward, right? Continue moving forward, believing in your dreams. All right, let's get into it. Let's see what's in your cards, Geminis. All right, this is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, my information is down below in the description. So if you see any other numbers pop up that does not reflect the number that you see in the description, it is not me. Let's get into it. So yeah, 291, set priorities. Say no to distractions moving forward, okay? A lot of things you missed, a lot of people missed by just being distracted. So slow down. You all are ruled by Mercury, right? So two situations threw you out of balance and lowered your money because somebody wasn't paying attention, right? But I do see new money coming across your path, right? So now start paying attention. So here we have the Two of Pentacles here, and then Ace of Pentacles here. All right. So there you are, sitting on your throne, carefully vetting your thoughts. I love it. And I'm talking, and remember down here is genderless. So some things were uncovered, and they're continuing to be uncovered, and you're just having the memories. You got some good news coming across your path, right? Here we had the Page of Cups here. So there's a message coming through. And remember, you all are air signs, so it's going to come through the air, right? And so it could come through your daydreams, night dreams. You can feel like you're, hearing, things. But remember, ask for the physical evidence of something when you're asking source. So it doesn't feel like you're, you got voices in your head, right? You don't want to feel like, okay, you got just voices going replaying in your head. You want to ask for the physical evidence of something. So here we have the 5 of Pentacles here. Yeah. Somebody accepted some money from 2 people that threw you out of alignment, threw you completely out of alignment, right? And so Source is trying to tell you to be more conservative with your time, okay? So this could have been 2 friends that a loved one actually accepted money from, and it threw you out of alignment, right? To somehow make you feel worthless, to make you feel like something with your money was already balanced out, right? So it was already balanced out between you and someone, right? And so there were 2 other energies because somebody was distracted by whatever was going on around your life, going on in your life, Geminis, that you're now balancing things out. Again, the overarching theme for this full moon that we have on the 12th is go where you are appreciated, not where you are tolerated. Okay, because that is how something lowered your worth, your feelings of worth in relationships. So somebody was collecting a lot of information about you. Some energies were collecting a lot of information about you to try to make you feel very low, feel worthless. And so Source is saying, be conservative with your time. Be conservative with your time, okay? So some information is coming through for you all. It's going to first come through the air, you know, because there's some energies who are really now concentrating on trying to get a message through to you, right? Remember, things come through the air. So Source is saying to you, today is a great day because pay attention to the messages coming through. Don't just hop up and just be running around so much that you just miss everything, right? Source is saying, say no to distractions moving forward. Immediate action is required. Your angels call you to prioritize what you want. You are speaking to your future self, not sitting in there replaying stuff over and over and over again like a broken record in your mind, right? Eliminate distractions today by postponing or declining anything that isn't essential. Right? Money is coming across your path. Yep, money is coming across your path. So there were some energies who were paid, 2 energies were paid to make you feel worthless in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They are just now waking up out of a trance, right? So they were something. So there's 2 such situations going on here. Chiron, you all know, Chiron is that still trying to figure out what Chiron is. They're trying to still figure out if Chiron is a planet, right? Who is they, right? Trying to figure out if Chiron is a planet. But Chiron actually is about healing and compassion. Chiron represents our desire to heal and make whole and can indicate aspects of our lives where we have been wounded. So somebody could have wounded someone intentionally through money, right? That's just them being distracted. Hey, let's go out, let's go party, let's go do this, that, and the other. Overspending, they didn't have enough money, whatever the case may be, Geminis. Okay, well, if you want something, okay, this is what you're going to have to do to get it. You know, somehow making people feel worthless. This is what you're going to have to do to get it. So I was just saying, you're going to have to wake up. You're going to have to wake up. And that's why what brought you to this throne. This is what brought you here, right? Because again, we're talking about, you know, your second house here, right? 2 of Pentacles here. We're talking about your second house, which is resources, possessions, money. Someone had access to what's worthy, what's worth, what is valuable to you. It could have been your husband, your wife, your kids, adult kids, whatever. Anything that's going to make you feel worth less. Source is saying to you, you are now prioritizing, declining anything that is not essential. Slow down. You're not falling for the bait and switch anymore. You're not falling for the bait and switch anymore. Okay, don't get distracted. Try not to get distracted. Put your plan together. So I do see you moving forward. You know, now just moving forward, right? Just with a routine, right? Your routine, your health, everyday life, right? Let me see what we have here. I feel like with this color green here also, I feel like someone is now also paying attention to your food, like what you put, your diet. I see you paying attention to that too. All of those things are important. All of those things are important, right? So you're just being more conservative with your legacy, right? On this rebirth side. Here's a death rebirth side. Yep. So yeah, because some energies were pretty obsessed. They were pretty obsessed. This is the hidden part of the death card. Pretty obsessed with ending your legacy. So if, let's say for instance, if you and your spouse, husband or wife, doesn't matter, partner, whomever, were trying to build a legacy, there were energies that were just as determined to end your legacy. And so source is saying you're going along with the flow, not paying attention, distracted, making money. This is what somebody was doing, making money, didn't realize there were some energies that were trying to end it. So yeah, you got some good news coming through. Like I said, you got some good news coming through. And it's first going to come through. It's first going to come through in the form of just like downloads and just kind of sort of what you hear first. And source is going to show you the physical evidence of something. Right? So this is why it's important for you to set boundaries. You and your person on your journey, making money, things are happening for you all. You're buying homes, you're, buying cars, you all are planning investments, you're doing all sorts of things. And boom, some energies from, it could be their side or your side, that's creating some kind of a distraction to pull somebody. These are karmic relationships, right? Pull somebody away from something, Gemini. You're going to have to be aware. You're going to have to be on guard. You're going to have to be aware, paying attention. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, so like I said, I see some money coming to you. Something of value coming to you, right? So source is saying be aware of what's going on, right? So source, the creator, you want to start training your brain to see the creator in everybody, right? You want to be able to train your brain to see the creator in everybody, right? But you also want to create boundaries and enforce those boundaries as well, right? So yeah. See this right here? Looks like an infinity symbol, right? Karmics. Yeah, karmics. So it's the light is definitely showing on some kind of a karmic relationship, that you were somehow in, where people felt like you were competition, and these are family members, felt like you were some kind of a competition, right? So source is saying you can get some rest. You can definitely get some rest now. Finally get some rest, because now those same energies who were paid to work with energies to emotionally wound you, those energies are now saying, wow, they fell for something. They fell for something, right? And so you're breaking some kind of a karmic cycle, because people are now awakening to how obsessed energies were with your money and how you're making money, Gemini. So pay attention, okay? Pay attention, right? You won't be a fool again. Remember, Uranus went station direct in Taurus on the 29th of January, right? And so, some energies were definitely bullied. They were definitely bullied to cut you off. They were definitely bullied because you're asking why, going through your mind, like why? What was the reason? Because people saw you as competition. They thought you were a fool, a complete fool, right? But you all are incredibly smart. And you're not. You're nobody's fool. You're not a fool. So you got a lot of, like I said, a lot of great things coming through. And people decided to be used to people as a pawn. Right behind your back. Right behind your back. Right? So now you're awake. Right? So here we have the Queen of Cups. Right? So, like I said, people are now seeing that your compassion and your whoever was being used, who felt horrible, afterwards, first for them, they thought, okay, I'm getting some money, but eventually they felt horrible. It made them feel even more worthless, lower. And so now people are seeing the true you, your compassion. And so source is saying, because they fell for the bait and switch. And so, like I said before, but you moved on. You've moved on. So I do see again, you know, them being more conservative with their time from now, you know, as far as money is concerned. Somebody is now thinking, I don't know who this would be for you, Gemini, but again, this is a general reading. Somebody is now really thinking just like, wow, they must have been a fool to even second guess or question your intention, you know, your intention in the relationship. They're really in their head. Like, what in the world kind of possession were they under, right? But again, the enemy knows everybody's weakness. Everybody's weakness. You're working hard. You're trying to balance things out for you and someone, and some energies decided, oh, really? Align themselves with, and so somebody was in alignment with a karmic, right? Yep. So something is coming back, like I said, coming back your way in terms of just like your legacy is concerned, but you're going to get out of something what you put into it. You're going to get out of something what you put into it. So behind closed doors, you and somebody are going to be working on your legacy, right? But you're going to get out of it what you put into it. Because you and somebody were tied to karmics. So that would be like, you may have had a karmic relationship with earning money, right? So busy, distracted that you weren't even really paying attention. They could have had it with money in its own way, right? In its own way. So that's what Source is trying to tell people to slow down, right? There's the devil card. The devil really is in the details. It really, really is in the details. Some people can see your hard work and your ability to earn money is their way in, right? So Source wants you to start, like I said, paying attention. Go where you are appreciated, not where you are tolerated. Not where you all are tolerated, right? All right, aromatherapy. So things are going to start smelling a lot better for you. You know, the scent that you give off, ear, nose, throat, with your heart chakra, right? That you're not a fool. Things are starting to come up. Roses. You see these roses here? Things are starting to come up. Roses for you. Things are growing because people are now wide awake. Like even the karmics who intended on, they were under demonic control. Even the two karmics that use someone that you love to harm you and mess up your money, to lower your money or your feelings of self-worth in a relationship, are now feeling foolish. They're starting to think, what the heck kind of control were they under for them to mess up a good friendship? Like, people are just starting to see how compassionate you are, and how in the world could they have been torn in two different directions, Gemini. So you all need to wake up. Things are starting to smell. People are speaking very highly of you now. Things are like, people like the scent that they give off. They're kind, they're, you know, inspiring. These are the colors of the all the some of the chakras right here. They have a they can do it attitude. Their heart is in the right place. They feel good when they're around you. They're speaking about your crown chakra, like positive, right? So yeah, some people are just motivated by different things. So connect with your ancestors. Connect with your ancestors moving forward. Set those priorities. Your ancestors are you know, that's when I say connect with your ancestors, that's more or less you just basically saying you just come from people who genuinely are, you know, hardworking energies, but you got to be careful. You really, really have to be careful. Yeah, because you're moving on. This is right here. You're taking one last look back, and you're definitely moving on. Moving on. Yeah, so somebody's planning a vacation. Wheels up. There you go. Somebody's planning a vacation. So congratulations to you. And I'm talking about you planning a vacation. You're going somewhere. You're going somewhere. So set your priorities. Say no to distractions moving forward. Because people are wide awake now of just your heart, your intentions, how much you've invested in, you know, some things. Invested in loved ones, but you're taking one last look back, and like I said before, you're not falling for the bait and switch anymore. You're operating by faith, walking by faith. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. That's right. You're continuing to walk by faith. Your vibrations are high. Like I said, the devil is in the details. You don't need to demonize anybody at all. You just don't. Somebody saw your hard work and your money starting to grow as, oh, an opportunity, right? So an opportunity to compete with you, not even realizing that when people operate in purpose, it actually is benefiting everybody. It benefits everybody when you operate in purpose. So don't forget to look up your MC and 10th house, right? Make sure you are in the right job for you. Right job for you, right? You weren't gatekeeping anything from anybody. You weren't keeping anything from anybody. Like, you really, people are starting to see just how much you've invested in your knowledge. Whatever you do, whatever kind of work you do, people are starting to see you've invested in your knowledge. People are like, what in the world? Right? Your hard work is paying off. There's a Capricorn involved in something, but your hard work is paying off. So you all can see it here. See this right here. Yeah, so the opposite, or the polarity of Capricorn is Cancer. Something about, and Cancer is the mother and money sign of the zodiac. So something about your energy, you've invested a lot of time and energy into whoever these loved ones are, like a nurturer would do. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, but like a nurturer would do, someone who's really nurtured a relationship. And so Source is saying people are starting to see, like, they're starting to see it in you when they jump to conclusions before. Demonized you. Oh, this person is all about money. They're all about, no, you were actually trying to create a better life. That's what Source is saying to you. You're about to plan a vacation, go on vacation. You're not explaining anything else anymore. You're focusing on your future self, not in the past. You're getting messages and downloads. People are just starting to see, like, wow, what in the world were people thinking? Being around familiar spirits. That's how dangerous it is. People who think they're familiar with you and don't know you from a can of paint. So there you go. There you go. Hopefully this has been helpful for somebody. Like I said, this is a general reading. Take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, my information is down below in the description. But like I said, the devil is in the details. You know, if people have an issue with money, it is just it's a tool, it's a resource, and it's what you do with it. But people are just starting to realize how many things you've done behind the scenes with the money that you've earned to actually help a lot of different communities. If people had just stopped and slowed down and took a minute to, there's people starting to think this person participated in this, they helped this energy, they helped that energy, didn't. Like I said, you can take one last look back and keep on moving forward. One last look back. Like I said, that's why you're sitting on your throne. You know, you've moved on from energies who intentionally, like I said before, try to argue with you about how you've contributed in the past, you know, to invest in others. And people are now like, what? Okay, Gemini is not the problem. And I'm talking to you wherever Gemini is in your birth chart. Not just your sun sign, just so we're crystal clear. Wherever Gemini is in your birth chart, I'm talking to you. But yeah, your second house came out first, and it was the second house is about possessions, money, resources. A lot of you all did so much to invest in your family members' businesses with even limited knowledge and information that you may have had. Anything that you learned that you could help to do to help your loved ones, you invested in it. Anything that came across your path, if someone transitioned in your family, you went right into volunteer service, didn't ask for a dime. It's just, like I said before, when people are starting to talk about you, Gemini, they're like, wait a minute, we really don't know Gemini. So like I said, you can continue moving forward. You're just sitting on your throne, carefully vetting your thoughts. A lot of people benefited from you invested in them. Even if it was your spouse and you knew something was wrong and you said, no, you know what, let me try to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Let me speak highly of them. You know, if it's something that you're missing, they'll find it out. They'll find out. You'll just pray for everybody. So there it is. There it is. So I see you planning a vacation and continuing to operate in faith, because people are just now starting to wake up out of demonic attachment to some belief system about you, some belief about you. But that's what I have for you. But things are coming up smelling very well for you. So keep up the good work, Geminis. There's many ways of communicating, and you have communicated. It's not just verbal. Y'all can look up the many different ways of how to communicate, and your action actually spoke louder than your words. That's what I have for you. Bye.